back for another video. This one is going to be a review on Crank by Ellen Hopkins. Love this book so much. I'll just start out with a description of the book and then I'll get into the reading. So, the book starts out with the girl, her name is Christina. I'll read you the back. It says, Christina is the perfect daughter. Gifted high school junior, quiet, never any trouble. Then she meets the monster, Crank. And what begins as a wild ride turns into a struggle for her mind, her soul, her life. I read this book years ago. I think like the year it came out, but I never read it again until now because the third one's coming out. But alright, so it starts out with the girl Christina, and she hasn't seen her biological father in a while, years I think, 6 years to be exact, I think, or 8 years. But she goes to, I think he's in California, I'm not sure, but she goes to visit him, and he works at a bowling alley, and there's the back of the bowling alley where you throw the balls and they go behind, like back there in that vicinity. People go back there and they do drugs, they snort coke and stuff like that. So she goes back there one time with this guy named Bunny. No, Bunny, I think his name is, or Adam. What you'll notice about this book is they have different names, like one person has two names sometimes, but I think his name was Adam. That's what he wants to be called. But she falls into a downward spiral of doing the drugs. Once she goes back home, she does more things like meth. I think she does meth. I know she does coke. She shoots up, smokes, and a whole bunch of stuff. There was this thing I've actually never heard about, like you cut someone's wrist and then you suck their blood. And this, I was like, well, that's weird. But she goes through a downward spiral, and yeah, it's just a really good book. So now the rating was, you know, did I become emotionally attached to the main character? I definitely did, because what she goes through is so bad, and the way that they describe it is just like phenomenal. Like, it goes into great detail, so I'm giving that a 5. Does the setting of the book play a good part in the novel? None whatsoever. She goes on vacation to her father's house, California, I think, and then she goes back home to Reno. I think Reno she lives in. So I'm just gonna give that a 1 because it plays no part in the book whatsoever. Was the climax of the book really good? There really was no climax, because once the roller coaster got to the top, it just went straight down, and it was predictable because she was doing drugs. So I'll give that a 4. Was the ending predictable or non-predictable? What happens at the very end was, well, it was predictable if you have common sense. Like, people who do drugs, you know what happens to them eventually. But in this book, I honestly didn't see it coming. Well, I've read the book before, but as if this was my first time reading this, I may say it wasn't predictable. I may give that a 4. Will I recommend this to other people and age? That's a 5 for me. I would definitely recommend this to other people, and I would recommend this to people, I think I put 13 up. I don't know if it says on the back what age limit there really is. But I think all teenagers should read this book so they see what happens once you do drugs, and the monster, which is coke, pot, meth, and all those other things. So there's my review. This is a must read. Definitely everybody who has books and is in love with reading has to read this book. I actually have on the back here that these are all of her books. I have Impulse, Glass, Identical, and Tricks. My friend is borrowing. I think she has another book out. No, she doesn't. Well, she has the new one, Fallout. But yeah, so that's my review. Thank you for watching, and for the movie that I think you all should watch in honor of Crank, which is nothing but drugs. The movie that I'm going to put is Requiem for a Dream, which is all about drugs and stuff like that. So there will be a link to the trailer in the description below. So yeah, thank you for watching, and tonight I'm gonna start this book. I should probably be done within tonight, tomorrow, or the day after. So give me 3 days, and then a review for this will definitely be up. If nothing else happens to my family, which a lot of crap has been happening to us lately. So yeah, so thanks. Goodbye.